Welcome to Turn the Page, the official podcast of the Syosset Public Library.
Hi, this is Jessica from Syosset Public Library's podcast, Turn the Page, and we are really excited to have these guests here today. Please introduce yourselves.
My name is Rebecca, and I am one half of Devour Power.
And my name is Greg, and I am the other half of Devour Power. We, we're married, we love food, and, made a life out of it.
That is incredible because I can't imagine being married, being someone who loves food and being married to somebody who does not love food.
Oh, I know, right?
It'd be awful.
Yeah, it was definitely a prerequisite. We'll say that.
That's like incompatibility right there. That's, what is it? I've been out. I've been out of the dating pool for quite a while. But I can't remember if it's swipe right or swipe left. But
yeah,
we missed that trend. That Tinder and stuff came out right when we got together about 10 years ago. So neither of us got to play that game.
Well, so that's okay. Swipe no for don't like food.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So please, first of all, as I understand, you are here today to make us extremely hungry and also tell us about the book that you have coming out. So first tell us how you all got started with this, and then let's talk about Devour NYC, which is just a short hop on the Long Island Railroad from Long Island, which is where we are right now, or wherever you're listening from when you come to New York City, hopefully in better pandemic times, and things will be opening up with some outdoor seating this summer, or you can cook at home. So please tell us all about this.
All right. So we started a Instagram page about 8 or 9 years ago together called Devour Power. Basically, we were having a lot of fun going out eating and drinking, just started dating, the typical New York City thing to do. What else is there to do besides walk around in Central Park and eat bagels? So we had a great time with it. We decided to, as a hobby, start an Instagram page. We started a blog, etc. And fast forward, it's coming on 10 years.
Almost 10 years now, yeah.
10 years. We have basically put together a book of some of our favorite over-the-top recipes from some of the best restaurants in all 5 boroughs. There's over 50 of them in the book. And we hope that everyone loves it. All the chefs and owners wrote them themselves. They are single serving or up to 4 servings. So they had to break down their own recipes, which are usually, in a restaurant, they batch it for 100 burgers. So they took the time to break it all down, and it is really awesome. We think it's a lot of fun. Some of them are super messy. Some are very creative.
They're over the top.
Very over the top. But how did we break down the chapters? I guess we had our favorite food categories.
We went just food categories. We went wings, and then we have not your average backyard barbecue. So you got hot dogs and hamburgers there. You have some starters. You have some different things that you can do with tortillas. You have a whole Italian food section. And then, of course, you got some sweets at the end. So it has something for everything. And, we do not discriminate when it comes to different types of food. So we had to just include everything. And, we're beyond thrilled with how the book came out. We just can't wait for everybody to get their hands on it.
And I think one of the really cool things about this, and going back to what we were talking about earlier, I think obviously the pandemic has changed a lot about going out to eat. And while we do, we're hoping at least, these restaurants will be serving in a capacity outdoors in the summer as people get vaccinated and things get better. What I love about this book is armchair traveling has become such a thing during COVID. This is armchair food tourism.
Absolutely.
So you can make these recipes, and then when you're able to, you could be pretty much anywhere. You could be anywhere around the world. Okay, I'm going to eat I want to try this, and then you can make it in your house.
Right.
So you're virtually going to New York City, and then if you want, when you're there, you could say, oh, I made this at home, let's go and try the original.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these recipes are actually like the best dishes or like in each restaurant. You know, and the chefs did not like change the recipe by any means. Like it's their legit recipe, and they are, I mean, every single item is just one of our favorite things in New York City.
We tried to stick with, if you follow Devour Power on Instagram, you know that we love over the top things. So super cheesy, you know, everything's pretty fast casual that we do, like pretty affordable, accessible. So that's basically what the book's about. There's nothing super fancy in here. Not that we don't like fancy once in a while, but you know, we're keeping it real. We like what we like. We love pizza and burgers and tacos. So that's really what it's about. And we really sat down with all the different chefs, especially Greg, who has more of a relationship because he works one-on-one with a lot of the restaurants and chefs in our day-to-day job, which is social media marketing and things like that. So he sat down and really figured out what we think that we could recreate in this book that people have seen, especially on Instagram, that they're like, oh, I really want to try that, but maybe I, you know, can't get to New York City right now, or I live halfway across the world and I'm never going to come to New York City, or, you know, so it's a lot of really cool things like the mac and cheese bun burger from the Bedford, or
oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Cheesy garlic knots from East Village Pizza. You know, it's some things that you look at the pictures and videos on Instagram and your mouth waters and you're like, oh God, I wish I could try that. Well, now you can, because now you know exactly what's in the recipe, exactly how to make it. Some of them even did like little tips and tricks that aren't even included in the recipe, like maybe how to brine the chicken before you even do it, or, you know, like little secrets that they do in order to make sure that things are really good. So we really went over the top with this book, and I think it came out pretty excellent.
Who knows? Maybe it'll inspire somebody to open up their own restaurant someday.
That would be really cool. First of all, you have me at burgers. Anytime you say burgers, I'm like, yes, burgers. Where and when and how do I get my hands on this?
Yeah.
What are so comfort food? I think is it's having. I don't even want to say a resurgence, because comfort food is different depending on also nationality and, you know, I guess origin. Right. But I think just this whole idea of fusion and over the top comfort food is the most New York thing ever.
Yes.
First of all, what I want to know is social media marketing and food and your Instagram. How did it grow, and were you surprised at the magnitude that it grew?
Yeah, we were at first, for sure. You know, we started this now almost 9 years ago, right? Almost 10 years ago. It was just a side hobby. We weren't, you know, we both had full-time jobs. We weren't really considering this to be our full-time jobs. And, you know, the algorithm on Instagram and Snapchat at the time, it just worked in our favor. People love food. And, you know, we went in like over the top food creation, the
direction, like the videos
that
and the
direction.
Photos of, instead of doing like the pretty plated things, or like you're standing on a chair doing the whole table spread like you see people make fun of Instagrammers for, we went super heavy just into over the top.
Yeah. I think that there's so much about that that's beautiful, because I think a lot of people's relationship with food can be like a little touchy. It's an experience, to see those over the top things, and it almost like makes you feel like a little kid again, like
Right,
you're in Willy
yeah.
Wonka's not Willy, well, yeah, like I guess without the accidents that happen, because man, that place is accident prone, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. But you know, like in the beginning when they're at that beautiful candy shop and the kids are just digging their hands into all of this candy, it's that feeling you got. And I think when you see these recipes that are just what you love times 1,000, no matter how old you are, it brings you back to that feeling, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can enjoy that I can put my hands on it and put it in my mouth. That exists. There's a beauty to that. It really resonates, at least with me, because I just want to eat everything.
I agree.
Yeah, we completely agree with that. I mean, we're not eating this food for every single meal every single day, but it's just it's you know, it's
You're
all in
not?
moderation. No, not every single meal. Yeah, you would know if we started eating them every single meal. But yeah, it's all in moderation, and we love it, and you know, this is how we live our lives, you know.
I think what's great about over the top comfort food, quote unquote, is it actually takes a lot more thought than you'd think to put into these dishes. Like, you can't just throw a bunch of crap on top of each other and expect it to be good.
Sure.
Like, they put time and effort in making sure it's the right kind of cheese. What kind of cheese melts at what melting point? What kind of cheese is what color because it looks better? What kind of cheese is stretchy and not just like the super liquidy kind when it melts. So there's a lot more that goes into it than people think about, which is what I really think we need to give all these chefs great credit for, because in their day-to-day lives in their restaurants, they really are so creative, but there's a science behind it. It's not just piling bacon and cheese and, you know, nachos on top of each other and so on and so forth. There really is.
Which is okay too.
Which is fine. Yeah. Do what you want. But yeah, they've done a lot of really cool recipes in this book. Like, for example, we have a pancake burrito. So it's a burrito, but the whole outside is a giant pancake, which is so fun and so delicious and something really fun to make at home. You know, it's not as formal, I guess.
What's inside of a pancake burrito?
So yeah, there's a bunch of eggs. We know that. We have sausage, bacon, mascarpone cheese, chives, some cheddar cheese, and of course some maple syrup just dripped on top.
Oh, it's so fun.
It is crazy how I mean, because usually you eat all that food for breakfasts, you know, when you want to go all out, but like separately on the same plate. And it's like, if you just have one handheld, we're a big fan of handheld food items, you know, it was burritos, tacos, hamburgers.
That's very New York, because New Yorkers are always going somewhere.
You're not walk around.
Yeah, I mean, they're the brunching New Yorkers who, you know, like they're gonna hang out on the patio and have their brunch. But really, New Yorkers, for the most part, that's a luxury because we're on the go a lot. So if you could just take that and walk with it, that sounds great. Where is that originated from, the pancake burrito?
It's from a place called Mom's in Astoria, Queens. They're like known for their kind of over the top brunch food. We've been going there for years and we absolutely love it.
Oh, so good. Wow.
Yeah,
that's on my list right now of places.
Yeah, we have stuff like that where it's, you know, a crazy creation. And then there's little things like just a Philly cheesesteak where Dave Federoff, he was born in Philadelphia and then he moved to New York City and decided to bring a Philly cheesesteak to New York City. And it's honestly my favorite cheesesteak. And it's weird to say it because it's in New York City, but it's originally, like, he's originally from Philly. So, you know, there are ties there, but it's simple. You know what I mean? It's the right kind of steak chopped up. You salt it correctly. And then you put some, you know, perfect cheese on there, some melted cheese.
And the option of his options for like a certain special kind of pepper to make it more spicy. So it sounds simple, but if you don't know exactly what you're buying and exactly how you're prepping it, it doesn't come out the same. So there's a lot of cool recipes like that, you know.
Cheesesteaks are those things, I think, that are very difficult, because I think a lot of people try to recreate a cheesesteak But as somebody who spent some time a little bit outside Philly, where you could get a cheesesteak of that style, if the steak isn't a certain, like if it's not thin enough, if
Right.
you decide you're going to put the wrong kind of cheese on it, you can't just be like, I'm just going to throw like a slice of American cheese on it and it'll be fine. Like it'll be fine. It's not fine.
Not even
No, it's not
close.
okay.
Your roll needs to be a certain way. You can give the option of cheese whiz if you want, but like you have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're getting excited for, at least me, I'm getting excited for a cheesesteak, and I'm like, nope, not working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think another thing to mention about the book that is pretty cool is it's not all just American food.
Yes.
Because New York City is such a melting pot, we do deal with a lot of cool restaurants that are very different. So we have Venezuelan cachapas, we've got Dominican pizzas, we've got Dominican chopped cheese, which is a super New York thing from up in like Inwood.
A lot of Mexican food.
Yep.
You know, tacos, burritos, all that good stuff. Yeah.
We got Italian American. We've got a lot of Southern barbecue type of things. So I think we tried to cover all the bases and not just...
And pizza.
And a lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza.
Don't forget the pizza.
So we definitely tried to cover all the bases as far as food and culture goes, because this is New York City. It's not all one thing, and that's what we love about being here and being able to eat and experience what other people think is a comfort food within their own world. So I think this is really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you, did you work with any food trucks?
They did not let us work with food trucks this round. They wanted brick and mortar only. So to back up a little bit, this project started right before COVID, like right before. So basically we had to do this entire book during quarantine, like lockdown, like the worst stages.
Yeah.
It was very difficult. We unfortunately, sadly lost a few of the guys that were in here because their restaurants shut down during this whole thing, and had to quickly replace them with new ones, et cetera, et cetera. So we were limited to brick and mortar only. We definitely think that we're going to be able to have another shot at this and do, whether it be a different city or
awesome.
a food truck. We would love to do a food truck specific one, because
you're answering all my questions for me. This is so much fun. I could just sit here and say, continue to tell me about this.
I think the next go around after this one, we're definitely going to try and do something a little farther out. We couldn't even do Long Island in this book because there was a few Long Island guys that we wanted to work with. But it was limited to the 5 boroughs, brick and mortar only. So next go around.
Yeah, for sure. And some of these places in the book do have food trucks, but they, their first and foremost is the brick and mortar.
I'm a huge food truck person myself, for the walking reason when I'm in the city, for sure. Especially like when you're on the High Line, there's like these ice cream sandwich stands.
Oh yeah.
That are so good. And I'm always saying to myself, I'm not going to do it this time. It's fine. I ate too much already. I'm getting an ice cream sandwich. That is what I am doing.
Well done.
Exists nowhere else. And we would obviously, as a Long Islander, I mean, we would love to hear some of the places around here. So we look forward to yeah, for sure. So when is this book due out? Because we chatted a little before we started recording and found out something very interesting.
Well, originally, this was supposed to be Christmas 2020. So this is how much the pandemic really has shifted this book with all the closings. And then, of course, we couldn't get into the restaurants with a photographer when there was full lockdown. So everything got pushed. Then it was supposed to be beginning of May 2021.
Yeah.
Then it got pushed to, because there was printing delays. So then it got pushed to the end of May 2021. And Greg, so what's going on with the book now?
So the it's basically stuck because of the Suez Canal. What's happening in the Suez Canal because of
Wah, wah.
So we're kind of just waiting on that. It'll delay it by who knows how long, but probably only a couple weeks.
We're hoping only
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
Fingers crossed. But yeah,
they need
it's
to get that boat out of there. 'Cause
it's that's the last thing we were expecting. I mean, we were like, what in the world?
But you know what? Sometimes waiting, it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
So
It's worth the
yeah, I think this one's going to be worth the wait for everybody. And this, I want to try cooking some of these recipes. Do you have? We talked about some savory. Do you have any sweet recipes that you would like to tell us about?
So, funny fact, sweets are not our go-to. Neither of us have a sweet tooth.
Same.
I mean, we do once in a while.
Well,
but
right now you do.
So I'm pregnant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're having a boy this August.
So fun.
Yeah, so for some odd reason, all I crave is sweets. So I am thrilled that there is a sweets chapter now, because before I was like, take it or leave it. They're good, but I crave burgers. Oh no, now it's cookies.
One of our favorite ones for the treat yourself chapter is it's basically all things sweet. One of our favorite ones is the peanut butter and jelly chicken waffle. It's little fried chicken bites on top of a cheddar scallion waffle. And then like there's it's a place called 375 Chicken in the Lower East Side. So they put their signature like peanut butter and jelly sauce on top of the chicken. And I mean,
so good.
It's just such a conversation starter, you know, like people are like, no, you can't mix like savory and sweet like that. And it's like,
yes,
no,
can.
Once you try it, I mean, you're going to want to make this on a weekly basis. It's so good.
Yeah, so for me, so full disclosure. So for me, I mean, I do occasionally have a sweet craving. However, for me, there needs to be a little bit of savory in it. So if I want an ice cream sundae, I like it when the hot fudge, because I do like classic hot fudge sundae, but when the hot fudge is slightly bitter, it's not it's not pretend hot fudge. It's got some dark in it, something a little bitter. I think it's much, much better. And when you put peanut butter on anything sweet, it automatically becomes the best thing ever.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
I think to touch on your craving of ice cream sundaes, we've got a great one for you then.
Ooh.
One of the recipes we have is called milk and chips. It is ice cream, which he teaches you how to make, which has maple syrup and sea salt and vanilla in it. And on top, he teaches you how to make a maple butter potato chip. You put the potato chips on top of the ice cream.
Show the picture.
I know you're not going to be able to see it because it's Zoom, but it's this guy. And again, actually, this is the same guy in the Lower East Side, 375 Chicken.
Yep.
This is the same guy, 375 Chicken. It is such a refreshing treat because it's crunchy and salty and sweet and savory. It is phenomenal. He knocks it out of the park. So I think if you like ice cream but you like savory, that would be the recipe for you.
375 Chicken is on my list. As we were talking, I just wrote it down on a piece of paper and circled it.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love that place.
We've got a funfetti cookie cake that's like 8 layers of cookies. We've got
a Wookiee.
A Wookiee.
Which is like a whiskey cookie.
Based cookie.
Okay, because I'm thinking Chewbacca. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That one does have alcohol, so gotta keep that away from the kids. But yeah, we've got a great the spectrum of recipes is pretty broad. There we go.
Well, I think that this is going to be a huge hit. We really, really hope to hear that you're going to do sequels, maybe come out to Long Island to tell us what your favorite Long Island restaurants are. If people so the book, which is called Devour NYC, is coming out Suez Canal situation pending. End of May, beginning of June, we hope. Check it out from your local library. Go to bookshop.org or your favorite local bookstore. And where can people find your Instagram page if they cannot wait till then?
So on Instagram, we're called Devour Power, and also on TikTok as well. We showcase a lot of different foods, majority of them being over-the-top crazy creations based in New York City, but we travel all over. We love what we do, and
we love Long Island. We come out there
Oh,
for
yeah,
quite
absolutely.
a few, some of our favorite restaurants. What's Rust and Gold? We love.
Yeah, we go to a place called Rust and Gold. It's very good. It's in Huntington. Highly recommend that place.
Huntington has a lot of really good
Huntington
restaurants.
is.
Yeah.
We love the main street right there on Huntington. We go there all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, we try to touch not just New York City. We travel a lot and basically eat what we love, and we love what we do. So we're pretty lucky in that aspect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, this was Jessica with Syosset Public Library's Turn the Page podcast, and our guests today were.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Greg, and we were Devour Power.
It's time to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Join us for the next episode.